Welcome back, race fans, to the B4evaKool podcast, a place where the roar of the engine meets passion of the paddock. I'm your host, Rexy Fortyfive, and tonight we're going to be diving headfirst into the electrifying, high-octane world of MotoGP. Now, let's be honest, MotoGP isn't just a sport. It's a spectacle. It's raw, unfiltered expression of speech, skills, and courage. The riders are not just athletes. They're like modern-day gladiators, dancing on the edge of physics over 350 kilometers per second, trusting their machine, their instincts, and sometimes just a little bit of luck. Think about it. One wrong move, one fraction of a second too late on the brakes, and it's game over. And yet they push harder, lean lower, fight fiercer, weekend after weekend. That's what makes the sport so addictive, the drama, the rivalries. And let's not forget about what makes the sport truly special, the fans, the ones who wake up at ridiculous hours to catch the race live or debate tire choices like their life or death, or just feel like they're the ones that's crash or even on the podium or enjoy every last lap, overtake deep in their soul. MotoGP MotoGP isn't just about what happens on the track. It's about the passion, and we all share it. And I'm happy tonight to introduce an incredible lineup of guests who will talk about the latest actions, dive into the technical side, maybe spill a little bit of gossip. Let's introduce them one at a time. Mr. Cheetah, welcome to the show, man. How you doing tonight?
Man, what an intro, man. Wow. That's exciting. I'm excited.
We're trying, man. We're trying.
Yeah. I'm excited for that. Let's go, man. That sounded good.
Let's go. All right, let's do it, man.
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, by the way.
Oh, no doubt, man. How was your week, man? What do you get into?
Week was good, man. Weekend was pretty good. You know, we all, I think, most of us enjoyed the Daytona 200, which was amazing. We'll get into that. But week's been pretty good. Monday, can't complain.
That's what's up, man. I'm gonna bring everyone else in. I do have a question for everyone. So as all the crew roll in, we'll figure this out. But we're gonna be talking about the tracks and some other things that goes on there. Mr. Trax Starz, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show.
What's up, my man? Dang, yo, that intro, boy, you've been the poetry. You know what I'm saying? The dramatization. Before the introduction, baby, what's going on? But obviously, you don't have to ask me. I had an unbelievable, phenomenal weekend as Ducati reigns over the whole world, especially here in the US, baby. It is what it is. My boy Josh Herron.
Yeah.
Triple.
Okay.
Triple crown.
Triple crown, man. That's huge. And you're ready for this round in Argentina?
Yo, you know what's gonna happen. Come on, baby. Let's get into it, man.
We're gonna save it, man. Definitely. So, last but not least, the real Louis Ortega, man. Welcome to the show. How you doing tonight?
Good. How you doing today? How's your weekend?
How was my weekend? I don't even remember what I did this weekend. I wish I could tell you. I think I was working. Doing something. So, it went by pretty fast.
I'm going on 10 days on the road working. This is actually my first night home since, I was home for 2 nights when we last spoke. Uh-huh. But then I was on the road for 3 days before that, home for 2 nights, and then back on the road for another 4 or 5 days. So I just got back this morning. So, yeah, man, I'm just glad to be home.
Living the dream, aren't we?
It's a dream until you start doing it. Then it's not a dream so much. I'm home for 2 weeks, heading out to California, start prepping for COTA, heading to COTA, right from COTA, heading to Barber, right from Barber, be home again. So it's going to be a few long weeks.
I'll say one thing. Don't forget to pack enough underwears, man, because if you forget them.
I just buy them, man. I had the same conversation with whenever I travel. I'm like, look, any place that I travel, if I forget something, I guarantee you I can buy it there.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Well, fellas, welcome to the show tonight. I do have one question to break the ice a little bit. What is your favorite track, and your favorite track? Would you want to race it reverse?
My favorite track. To ride on so far has been Barber. to want to ride on. I mean, let's go with ride on. Yeah, I would not want to ride Barber backwards. No way. I think that, man, you'd be going down turn 4. Oh my God. If anyone's ridden Barber going up that crest where you can almost send it, coming down there would be ridiculous. But no.
Okay. How about yourself, Louis? I know you're retired, so I would say ride. Let's go with ride.
My favorite, I think, of all time is probably Road Atlanta. I just always liked that track, even before they redesigned it and made it a little safer. I liked it when it was a little more dangerous, but riding it backwards, I mean, at that point, I'll just go kill myself somewhere else because every corner is death there if you ride it backwards. Riding it forwards is dangerous enough. Riding it backwards, I mean, that's just pay your insurance up, man. It's going to be a short weekend.
Okay. Track Starz. So how about yourself?
My favorite track is Pittsburgh International Raceway.
Can't ride that backwards.
No way you could ride that track backwards, man. Like, oh my God. I mean, there's so many blind turns as it is, but I could just imagine how it would look going backwards. I mean, no, there's no way, man. I'll enjoy it the way it is. And I think the worst track to ride backwards would be Road Atlanta because Louis got me the gift to go ride that track forward, and I thought I was gonna die. Yo, my first lap around that track, I said, "No way, this is not real."
Yeah,
and it was a Aprilia 660, so I wasn't even on a V4, you know, on a big bike, and it was scary.
So you got to do those track walks before you go out, man.
Oh my God! Now, I don't think the track walk would have helped. Okay.
What about you, Rex?
Well, I would probably say Jersey is one of my favorite tracks, and I don't know if they go backwards at Jersey.
You can't. You'd be dead.
Would you want to do it?
Because think about it. If you go backwards, turn 1, you're going under a bridge, full throttle. That's not where you want to go.
I mean,
That's a fact.
I don't get this whole fascination with wanting to go on a track backwards. It's like you got this beautiful track, amazing. You love it.
Designed in one direction.
Yeah. No, you've gotten used to it, and all of a sudden, it's like taking a beautiful lady and wanting to ride backwards. I don't know how you want it, but I would not want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm good.
Engineers design tracks in one direction for a reason.
I think if the beautiful lady asks you have to.
A lot of things the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only bootleg tracks run both ways.
Yeah, Got you. Okay. All right.
New York
Oh, that's a good point. I'm not gonna say
Oh my God. Oh my God. Watch your blasphemous mouth, Louis.
That's a crazy point to make. And that might have been a big gem you dropped today, bro.
Yeah.
All right. No doubt. No doubt.
We all know the one I'm talking about.
I love New York safety.
New York unsafety.
Not backwards.
Yep.
Man, let's get into it. Let's talk about the Daytona 200 because that just happened over the weekend. Louis, you were there, so I'll let you start. Let us know how it was and what your thoughts are. I was able to watch it online, so I wasn't there. I didn't get the atmosphere, but what I can tell, it looked like people were having fun, but we were seeing what's going on in the paddock and in the pit stops and stuff like that. So what was it like for you?
It was good. The pit experience was good. There was a decent turnout. As we were talking before the show, attendance was definitely down. Participation was definitely down. The people that were there did enjoy themselves. It was a really good time. I mean, they put on a great show, but as far as participation, I love the event. I just wish that there was more incentive for more teams to go and participate in the event versus, maybe like only the top, like we were speaking about, 5 or 6, maybe 7 riders that have a full ride for the year were there. And then everybody else were just club racers or one-offs or people that flew in from Europe to, kind of get some notoriety or something like that. It was a good competition between the top 5, 6, maybe 7. But again, those are the top riders there. They're the ones that have rides for the rest of the year. And everybody else is kind of, it's a participation trophy. You could put hey, I rode into the 200.
Hey, listen, that's a nice trophy to have. I mean, I
Yeah.
ran a couple of marathons. I didn't win, but I got
Still got
him
to
on,
ride 'em.
got him on the wall. Got him up there. I saw that there was a rain delay. What was it like being there? Because I couldn't really tell if it was a lot of rain or they were just playing it safe.
They were playing it safe. I mean, it's not a track that you want to play with in the rain, even if it's just light rain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a lot of walls there. There's a lot of high speeds. It's not a place where you want to, coming out of the chicane, have somebody crack the throttle, go across the speedway and hit the wall at the top. It really didn't rain that hard. There was some spotty rain in a couple of areas. It didn't rain that long. I want to say in total it was maybe about, I'm going to say maybe like 8 to 12 minutes of rain. But it's a big track and different corners got different amounts of water. So they just had to play it safe. And I don't blame them for that. I mean, rider safety is paramount, especially on a really, really fast track like that and a track that has not soft barriers in a lot of places. So, you know, better to caution, err on the side of caution.
No doubt, no doubt. Cheetah, did you get a chance to catch the race? And what are your thoughts?
Oh yeah. Amazing performance by Mr. Heron, man. What a performance. He almost fought somebody, almost beat somebody up, almost got beat up.
He would have got his ass beat.
He was able to beat up the whole paddock that day, man, in the race. So props to him for being the only person to ever do it 3 times in a span of what the whole series been going on for 80 something years. Really happy for Escalante to be able to finish this time. And, you know, for him coming in second. You can see that, you know, obviously Suzuki is going to be really strong with Tyler Scott running it this time in Super Sport. Peter Hickman, top 5. Brandon Posh wasn't able to finish like he wanted to, but top 5 still a solid effort to show that he still deserves that ride that he fought really hard for. Overall, you know, I see the point being made about rain, especially because, you know, how long can a rain tire last going around that turn at that same angle for so long, right? It's bound to get tore up. And when things get torn up, people aren't always pitting in because they're chasing, and there's a lot of risk there too. So that's one more aspect to maybe why they didn't run in rain. But props. Also, one more shout out I want to make is Shane Maggs, man. Props to you, bro. I raced him a few times, rode Atlanta Barber and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He made it to 19th, which is pretty impressive for a privateer like that. So yeah, great racing, man. Ultimately, I like it.
Yeah. How about yourself, Trax Starz? You get a chance to catch the Daytona 200?
Come on, man. My man, come on, man. Let me tell you, Ducati New York had a big viewing of the race. I wasn't there, but shout out to Ducati New York for always putting it together. You could always catch the Daytona 200 at Ducati New York because most of the time we win it, baby. So you're right there celebrating with the crew and the team, man. It was a great show. Yo, listen, ain't nobody touching Josh Heron, baby. Not on the track, not off the track. But that's what Josh Heron brings. A lot of drama, a lot of fun. And he brings a show every time. There's a reason that there's a OnlyFans sticker on his helmet. And hey, you pay to view it, man. It's worth it every time because this guy, he really turns up, and he did it again. He did it again, baby. I know Lewis was rooting for him the whole time. We can't wait. I hope one day Lewis talks to him and gets him in some Dainese, you know?
I had dinner next to him the one night.
So
I actually did. I had dinner right across the table from me.
Man, do you think that it was a fair fight? It seems like he had the whole team behind him, and like we were talking off air, some of these other guys may not have had a whole team, or might have been privateers. Do you think it was a fair fight?
You asking me?
Cheetah.
No,
okay.
A fair fight, as in what way? Like the bikes, them complaining about the power and all that, or whatever.
No, in the sense that I mean, like when he put his head down, he had a plan, and his bike seemed to be. I mean, those those Jixers were the only 2 that could really run with him towards the end. So you know, I mean, he's coming. I mean, he was in Super Sport, went to Superbike, and he's running in Super Sport. Overall, do you think it was a fair fight with all other? Because it was only those Suzuki that was running next to him. I mean, Brandon Posh was there for a little bit, but
yeah, I mean, maybe I haven't gone back and looked at the data, because I did see Heron post something, and I was just had it pulled up. I hadn't looked at it, so I hadn't got a chance to read through it. But I think it was in defense about all the stuff they're talking about, maybe. So I'm not sure, but I mean, it's a tough call. I can't say one way or the other, but I know when they were drafting in the first few laps, everything seemed it didn't seem like he was just getting away from everybody initially, at least.
Got you. And how about yourself, Louis? Was it more just the team had everything together? We saw that one pit stop where they had trouble getting the front stand off and caught him a little bit of time. But he seemed to just knew what he was doing from looking at it on the screen. How was it for you, Louis?
No, I mean, there was a fair fight between the top 3 bikes because the Team Hammer had their full team there. And so, team for team, you have the same amount of experience, you have the same amount of manpower. Sometimes maybe dealing with 2 bikes stretches you a little bit thinner than if you're dealing with 1 bike. So you only have to worry about 1 person, 1 rider, 1 setup. But outside of that, I mean, it was a fair fight to the end. I mean, again, like it was a minimal competition. Only the top 6 or 7 were really in competition to win, and of the top 6 or 7, only really the top 4 or 5 had any opportunity to be at the front. So I have no problem with that. I mean, he didn't run out of gas, so that's good for him.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Guys, I just want to say, I just checked it. I went to his page. He posted it and it's looking like this, right? He literally got a face like that because he posted the stats. Heron's top speed measured 176 through the speed traps was slower than the Vision Wheel M4 with Richie Escalante and Tyler Scott, who were clocked at 181.4 and 179.4, respectively. Several of the triumphs were in the field were measured at 181 or faster, with the TLBC of Danny Eslick going 182.6. Wow. 176 was Heron. So that's a big, statement to make, to saying STFU. I don't know if I can cuss because I really want to, but that.
No, you can.
Yeah. He said, "Shut the fuck up, everyone." That's basically what he said.
He was pretty quick.
It's easy to say that with a helmet on.
Yeah.
While somebody's holding you back.
Well, hey, respect it, man, because you gotta say it, man. The way he beat him with all the stand issues and all that, everyone's gonna have questions like this. And to be able to say, here's a stamp.
Say the comment, please, Cheetah, read a little more forward about the actual first stage of the race, which is all where the turns are and the chicanes. Who was the fastest rider through the infield as well?
Only one of the 55s in split 2. He was slow in split 2 and 3, he said, but in split 1 rather, he was the fastest. He was only one 55s.
I mean, he kept looking back. So
and that's the infield. And I only won because my bike is the fastest, but somehow split 1 is way faster than everyone, which is the curviest parts.
Yeah,
exactly.
But if you guys, any real rider who watched that, seeing the way he was making that bike dance and how aggressive. I mean, with 2 laps to go or 1 lap to go, he almost lost it. 2 laps to go. Coming out of turn 3 or something like that. He almost lost it on the right-hander. And I was like, this dude's putting it on the line. So how could anyone not respect him? I mean, I get there's haters, but yeah, he shut everyone.
Listen, you don't come for the king without the whole army. And you better bring a nation to come help you too.
Yeah.
Josh Herman knew what he was doing. And listen, to be fair, Josh Herman was looking for help as far as sponsors for the Daytona 200.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he had this down pack that they were coming for the 200 and that this was going to be the game. He was still waiting for main sponsor. You see that main sponsor on the bike? 2 of them are the biggest.
Let's be fair. Yeah. He didn't want to reach in his pocket. Let's be
exactly. Fair. Don't go saying that they don't have. He don't want to reach in his pocket.
But he can do that.
So what we gonna say? Let's talk about
Brew Racing would have probably covered it.
No. But let's so we can't say something is good for someone else and this is not good for him. Listen, my man Brandon Posh, who came in 5th, was another guy who put this team together like last minute. You know what I'm saying? And still was out here competitive. But there's one thing that's super important, and that's experience. Experience will defeat talent anytime, because
Really?
a race like this.
Why didn't Rossi win in the last 10 years that he raced? He was the most experienced rider.
He was
Italian.
Also,
but let me say,
Italian.
Come on, man.
He was because number one, Rossi was already aging out. The people here nowadays we got a little more information.
Wait. You just said no excuses. Now you're saying he's aging out. How are you coming up with excuses?
We're talking about Rossi in 2014. You know what I'm saying?
Rossi won in 2017.
He won 9 already. And he won 9 already. You know what I'm saying? But my point being that Josh Herring put this together to win. And anyone who wants to come for that throne has to come just like he did, prepared to win. You cannot half-ass this. And I'm not saying anyone underneath him did that. Right. I'm sure they put all their eggs in a basket too to try to come out with a Rolex. Unfortunately, he had all the eggs. And you can tell by those last 2 laps, baby, where he did like a Marquez that you said, bye.
You mean the guy on the bike that has won the last 2 World Super Sport Championships? That's racing against 2 Suzukis that have makeshift ride-by-wire throttle systems, because Suzuki hasn't updated that bike since 2000 and I'm going to say what? 2008 maybe? 3 Triumphs that every year they take them out of the dustbin and try to get them to race. And then 2 more Suzukis.
Lewis.
I'm not making excuses.
I'm not the biggest Herring fan.
But you come in here with on a Ducati that you got a lot of information, you got a lot of data, that it's an actively championship bike in World Super Sport.
Do like Rahal, get Ducatis. Come on.
Why didn't Rahal show up?
No, but at the end of the day, listen, the bike did trap the lowest out of all the ones that you just mentioned. And second, he didn't have any aids. So, like, y'all can talk all you want, man, but the man did his business. And he's got
fair and square.
What's that?
What aids?
One fair and square, Cheetah. Tell him.
What aids didn't he have?
What's that?
What aids didn't he have?
They said all his aids were off. They said all of it. They said that on with 5-6 laps to go. Yeah, go back and watch it. And I mean,
you can say anything you want, man.
But here's the thing.
You're not on the bike. You can say anything you want. You're not on the bike. I could get off the bike and be like, yo, I turned off all the aids. I even cut half the gas.
No, but listen, PJ ran it with no aids. He enjoyed it better. He said he ran it with no aids too. They enjoyed the V2 better. They're just able to get on the gas. And I mean, it speaks for itself. The stats don't lie. I could only imagine if he had a higher trap speed than everyone, they would never let him have this.
You have a naturally better bike. You have a more modern bike. You're racing a Suzuki that is realistically, it's a 16-year-old bike. It's a 16-year-old chassis. There's nothing new about it. You're racing on a newer Ducati that has a single-sided swing arm, so you automatically have a small advantage in pits because you don't have to do as much work to change the rear tire. This is a bike that's a proven winner in World Super Sport. It's won the last 2 World Super Sports championships. Even though it's been underpowered or whatever against other competitors, it's still won. So they're coming with more data on a newer bike and everything else. Is hiring a talented rider? Absolutely.
I got this one.
Yeah. But you bring in a gun to a knife fight.
Yeah.
You're the only one with a gun at a knife fight.
I will say this.
Lewis, that sounded amazing. And that was a great bedtime story to put yourself to sleep, man. Whatever helps you sleep at night. That was beautiful, by the way. I'm sorry, Rex. Go ahead.
I sleep like a baby.
No, I was going to say it's not LeBron James' fault. He came along when he did, and he didn't come around Michael Jordan's era. This is it is what it is. And I'll say this, right? I give Herring a lot of credit because he won, obviously, and you have to show up and you have to finish. Yep. But also the fact that he didn't back out like some of the other teams, like a lot of other pro racers did, because for the sport itself, I know it's a lot of money, but it's always a lot of money. And at every level, all of us, when we go to the track, it's a lot of money. We're not going to argue that. But for the sport, I feel like Rahal should have been there. Some of these other teams should have been there.
Yeah. One more thing I just want to add as well is that, because no one was there and all those people weren't there, I feel like the top 5-6 guys have never had a better chance at winning it. in history, like because of the fact. So I feel like this was a cool race to watch, especially Eslick's won it a few times, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And Brandon Posh beat him by a little bit. Posh has won it back to back. So Eslick's won it 4 times. I mean, Hickman beat both of them. It was pretty cool, man. It's a pretty cool race to watch for sure.
And not only that Richie was also in the mix again. He's right there, chasing down Heron. So I think it was exactly what I expected. The only surprise for me was to see Brandon Posh there competing with such a short amount of time to get that team together. Because I know I was talking to him in the summer that he's trying to figure out what he was gonna do for this season, and it came down to the wire, and that he's still there in 5th, right there. That it just speaks numbers. But if for what the statement that Heron made on that bike is, you can't touch him on that. And I'm excited to see what, most importantly, my man Cam Peterson is gonna do next year against the Ray Hall team. Warhorse versus them next season. Yo, listen, Bobby is a master of putting this bike together. This team is linked in. They locked in, family. And Ray Hall is the only other team I know that has that type of vibe with it. And yes, it is another Ducati team, but I don't think anyone is gonna be at the level of HSBK Racing. It's gonna be big next year, Louis, and you're gonna see what it's gonna be, baby.
Yeah, I love how he just finishes off with Louis.
Ray Hall, I put more money on Ray Hall than I'll put on HSBK because of Cam Peterson.
Wow.
Because Cam Peterson last year showed that when the going gets tough, he's the first one to pit. That's why he don't have a ride this year.
Oh God. Listen.
If you were in the pit at the end of the year last year at NJMP,
you saw
the drama that went down with him,
I was right there with you.
You understand why he's not on a superbike this year.
Well, Chavi had the situation, remember? He wasn't the only one complaining.
Yeah, but you can't come complaining to your paddock that something's wrong with the bike because the bike don't lie. The bike only records data. So if you come to the paddock and you're like, hey, my bike's doing this, my bike's doing that, you know what they do? ECU, download, let's see what's up. According to your bike, you're a liar.
They've been yelling him.
yo, I just want you to remember. Yo, Cheetah.
I ain't gonna say nothing bad about my boy Cam Peterson because my boy Riston Griggs on the same team with him. I'm super excited to see him getting a shot on that Ducati, man, the V2, coming from his first year in Moto America last year. I always like I'm gonna brag even more when it comes around, but I won the Road Atlanta Endurance Relay with him. Me and him on the team. Just always gonna brag. The more he gets on TV, I'm trying to brag even more. But man, my boy Riston's, I'm super excited for him and the whole Steve Grigg, Riston Grigg Electric team to be on par with Cam Peterson on the team, man. So just excited, man. It's gonna be an exciting super sport year. I'm a lot of those faces. It's gonna be exciting to see how they're gonna fare with against someone like Cam Peterson and. Louis, I know you're excited to see him, even though you're talking that trash about Mr. Cam Peterson.
I'm more excited to see the Ray Hall team, man. I'm more excited to see if the Ray Hall team could take that next step because the entire year PJ was right there, man.
Yeah.
Like he was there. The team was there. The team put a competitive package out every weekend. They were at the front, like they were at the tip of the sword every single weekend, man. They were like right there. And honestly, man, I've known PJ for a long time. I followed him for a long time. And I was just like, man, this might be the year that PJ gets that belt. And, I think the Super Sport lineup is actually the most competitive lineup that I've seen in Super Sport in a very long time. And the equipment as well. Like there's the right amount of mix of people in Ducatis. There's the right amount of mix of people in Yamaha. Would I love to say that Suzuki's are going to do well? I mean, they should do well at some races, but again, old technology. I would love to say Kawasaki's there, but Kawasaki's going to roll out the same bike again. But I think the mix is really well. I think in any given weekend, there's potentially 8 people that every weekend, or maybe possibly 10, that every weekend could be at least competing for the podium. Like, I don't want it to be a 2-man or a 3-man race every single race. And I see that now with the Rahal team, the Warhorse team, the Strack team. Like, all these teams have the right pieces. There's a lot of veteran superbike guys that are racing in super sport. So they're going to come with a lot of knowledge, a lot of race know-how. And, maybe where the bike is not good, then their race know-how comes in and makes up that gap. I personally think super sport is going to be more exciting to watch than superbike.
Yeah.
Well, Louis, you said that for like 2 seasons already, that Super Sport, he said it, that Super Sport was going to become the premier show at Moto America, because he said it's more cost effective. He said the racing is better quality. There's not one bike just leaving everyone, like Gagne style. And I hate saying Louis is right, but Louis proved to be right. And it kills me because right away, Rahal comes in, invests in not only 2 riders, 3 riders in Super Sport. And they don't even compete in the Superbike class. And I was telling him, watch, I promise you, they're going to put a bike in there. Nothing. And now this is where the vision's going. I mean, even in the motorcycle world, the investment right now is in this super sport class, the R9. KTM had done the 890, the RC8. So, this guy is just, I hate when he's right, but his mind is a numbers game. This guy, you can't get math wrong when you know how to add. And he sums it up pretty good.
Nice. Well, we have it on recorded, so we'll find out at the end of the season who I think we feel it's going to be a Ducati that wins by the end of the season. And speaking of Ducati dominance, let's move into MotoGP. Do you guys think that Ducati is going to dominate in Argentina this coming weekend?
For sure, man. Come on. It's not even a question anymore. Mr. Marc Marquez, come on, man. And Alex Marquez might be throwing a lasso around his brother again and taking him with him. I don't know. It might be, but we've already got our predictions. Louis, I might have to get your predictions after this, but I mean, I've already got them written down, but honestly, I feel like there's a lot of, what ifs around at that track. Anything can happen. Ducati, obviously the Marc's looking very strong right now. No one raced there last year, right? So it was 23. They haven't gone there all last year. It's going to be a learning curve, maybe just for a few laps up and getting up to speed, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be all eyes on Marc, all eyes on Pecco as well to see how he's coping right now. What's his coping mechanisms is what they call it, right? It'll be interesting. But my predictions are it's going to be Marc, it's going to be Alex second, and Pecco third.
What's the word, Trax Star?
Yo, do me a favor, Cheetah. Could you read my top three again one more time? Just because I'm not changing.
Yeah,
I'm not changing.
Let me pull it out the trash real quick. It's
Pecco,
Marc, and Bez.
Pecco, Marc, and Bez. And do me a favor, put that in your pocket now, okay? Because if you want to make money, that's where it belongs. You can't put that in the trash, man. You crazy? Are you crazy?
So okay, all right. So it sounds like you're saying Ducati as well. I'll give you one shot, Louis. I mean, is do we see Aprilia? Do we see Yamaha, KTM?
We'll see Yamaha in pit lane, but we won't see him on the track anywhere towards the front. The main person that you got to worry about at this track is Marc Marquez. Marc Marquez has won at this track 3 times. He's been almost on the podium 4 times, minus a small little altercation with Rossi. In that race, he would have come in first or second. So realistically, the guy knows his way around this track. And on this hemisphere, on this side of the planet, Marc Marquez has the best winning percentage of any rider in the entire MotoGP paddock.
Well, they are young guys in the MotoGP paddock right now.
Whether it's Argentina, whether it's the US, in this hemisphere, Marc Marquez has the most W's. Indianapolis, Coda, Argentina, when he gets on a bike on this side of the planet, he's usually a problem if the bike's good, and he's on a great bike.
Okay.
So I'm going to say it's going to be Marquez. I think I'm going to pick one out of the blue. I don't know where this person is going to finish, but Bez. I think Aprilia has a really, really good shot here. He showed great speed. And if he can get a good start, not a start at a 90-degree angle, and he can get a good grid position, I think he is definitely going to be in the podium battle. I think Agura, if he can have the same pace that he had last time, he'll be in the top 6 because Aprilia goes pretty well at that track. They've shown it before. They've got some great speed. Alessio Sparro won there on an Aprilia. So I'll say Mark. I'll say Pecco over Alex Marquez because I'm not gonna say Alex was a one-off, but satellite teams struggle from event to event, and right. I don't think he's ridden on this track in a while, at least not on a Ducati. So it's gonna be a lot of newness to him. And then that last spot, man, Bezzecchi or Agura.
Okay,
pick one. Pick one. You gotta pick one. I don't want to hear that.
Honestly, I would like to say Agura, but I'm a company man. I gotta say Bezzecchi.
So you got Mark, Bezzecchi, and who?
I got Mark, Pecco, Bezzecchi.
Oh, Pecco second?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up. Do you guys think not having the reigning champ Jorge Martin, is he affecting the second race at all by not being there?
Nope.
Business as usual.
Well, the show goes on, man. One elephant dies, you just bring the backup elephant in, man. We're still gonna have the circus.
What's your opinion, Cheetah?
I think what you mean with that? I mean, he's gonna be missed, man. He's gonna be missed. He's an impact for sure. I mean, he's got a #1 plate. The man on Aprilia is still yet to be seen. We're missing out on what he can actually do. Hopefully, he's recovered and comes back to one of these races here soon, at least hopefully by Coda. But he's definitely not. He's ruled out, man. I'm sad about it. I'm sad about it because I'm sad overall. His storyline is just he was supposed to be on Ducati. He gets kind of pushed away to Aprilia, and now he couldn't even make it out the first practice session, man. So, and then he goes and messes it up even more. It's just like it's an uphill battle for him for sure. So I'm sad to see him not on the paddle. It would have truly affected the race. He would have been somewhere there pushing top 5, top 3, I think.
Right. Yeah. I agree. I think he does affect the race, even not being there. It affects his teammates as well, right? Because they're not going to they're losing data.
Exactly. Yep.
What are your thoughts, Trax Starz?
Man, he's been here before. He's overcome this before. He will do it again. We miss him for sure. Because we know the Aprilia is obviously a competitive bike. It's doing a lot of things right. It's not doing that long chalk the right way, like Louis said. It wants to go in the opposite direction for some reason, but once it's rolling, it seems to be making a lot more things right than doing anything wrong. And Bezzecchi's a super talented rider. But he didn't win a championship. So I would love to see what Martin would do. And I would think he would be in contention right there with these 4 riders. I would definitely pick him every week to be on the podium. But we have to wait until he comes back. And I'm glad that don't force this guy to do anything other than heel right now. We have to protect our champion and see how he comes back, because he's not just signed for here. It's not only about this year, it's about what's coming next year as well. But as soon as we can have him back completely healed, he should come back. Not a day early.
Okay. Louis?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he would have made that much of an impact, and I don't think Aprilia should do anything to rush him back, and I don't think he should do anything to rush himself back. We've seen many, many times when riders try to rush to come back, unless you're already in the middle of the hunt towards the end of the season in the championship hunt, there's no reason to rush back. We're in the beginning of the year. It's still a long season. There's a lot of racing to happen. And you never know. Maybe the top 3, 4 guys start to go down, have some issues. You still have an opportunity. But rushing back just, increases your chances of getting yourself hurt more. You're not going to learn more on the bike if you're not in top physical condition. You're going to start pushing, or you're going to start working around your injuries and maybe pushing the bike in a way it shouldn't be pushed. Take your time, heal up, get better, come back ready for the European rounds. Don't come to Argentina, don't come to Coda, and maybe start the very first European round if you think you're able to make it. I know he wants to get on a bike. He wants to run laps. He wants to understand the bike a little bit more. He didn't have much time on the bike before he got ejected. So
right.
It's going to be a learning curve when he comes back. He's a talented rider, and he's on a competent bike. So even when he comes back, if he's in 80%, I'm guessing he's going to finish somewhere in the top 12. Right. And then as he gets better and he gets more time on the bike and heals up, he'll get better and better. I predicted him to finish in the top 10 this year. Outside of the top 3, I didn't give him a chance to be in the top 3, but I gave him a chance to be in the top 10. And I think it's still going to be that way if he takes it easy. If he starts to push and do stupid things, then he's just going to hurt himself, and it's not going to be a good look. And he's got a 2-year contract. Right. Don't risk next year in this year, especially this early in this year.
Right. Which guys have it the worst as far as luck or have some bad juju on them? Is it Martin? Is it Bastianini? When he was hurt and came back and got hurt again when he took everybody out? Was it Oliveira who just have bad luck when it's the beginning of the season and miss a bunch of races? Who's having it the worst? Obviously, we haven't seen Jorge come back yet, so we don't know. But as far as just hypothetically, who had it the worst? Was having it the worst?
I mean, I think all of them have it the worst. If you're sitting out, right? Everyone wants to race.
One is a champion, though.
Yeah, I think from a fan's perspective, I would say number 1 plate. Definitely more eyes on him. New platform, so more expectations on what he's going to do. No expectations, but everyone's anticipating that. Mm-hmm. So obviously, him having that back-to-back injury with the number 1 plate puts a big spotlight on him for every fan out there, whether you like him or not, right? So it's creating a lot of drama right now. When he comes back, how is he going to actually mentally fare? A lot more people know the guy, so I think just that's a simple fact. But how's he going to fare? Because he just crashed trying the bike out for the first time. Then he goes and injures himself again. Is he going to come back with a lot less confidence? And is it going to take him a longer time? Right. Or is he going to start pushing early because that's just who he is? Is there going to be a crash involved while he's pushing, or is he going to get up to speed fast enough? Is he going to be top 15 now? A lot of question marks now about when he finally comes back. People aren't even talking about that part, but who knows what happens to this guy? It could sometimes these kinds of situations can make or break a rider. And a lot of people put Mark in the same situation when he was out for 500 plus days. People don't know what was going to happen when he came back. So it's always a very interesting situation, but most of these champions, they got the mindset, they got an iron trap. Nothing can break them usually. So we'll see how they fare.
All right, Trax Starz. Who has it worst?
I think the person who has it the worst would be Luca Marini, going from the Ducati on his brother's team, shipped off to Honda. You know what I mean? There's nobody more hurt than him. And still struggling. So he's got the worst card in MotoGP. Could you imagine you racing on your brother's team, on the best bike on the grid, on a Ducati, you're doing good, you're right in the mix, you're constantly top 10, and then you get deported to freaking Honda.
Promotion.
And you struggle last place consistently, and then they tell you we might have some new development for next season. Stay motivated, and here you are still in the back. No, nobody's got a worse card than him. Mario, even with the injury, he knows he's coming back to something good. He's like, yo. I'm seeing Bez, I'm seeing Agura, the rookie. You know what I mean? No. Nah,
Okay.
Martin is feeling strong and confident. Um, the worst, I'm telling you, without question, is my boy Luca Marini.
Okay, I was thinking it would have been Bastianini or Oliveira from those crashes, and then crashing
Nah,
again in the previous seasons. But you think Luca has it bad because he's on a factory bike that's not performing as well. I think he's getting paid, man.
no. And you leave your brother's team. Like you leaving home, Nah. And I love Luca Marini. I think he's a super talented rider. It's not fair what's going on with him. I want to hear what Lewis has to say. Who got the worst car dealt?
I'm gonna say crackers for bones, Gian Antonio, because you're gonna jack yourself up doing a wheelie in practice, and now you aren't competitive, and you're hurt, and you can't finish the race because your ass is on fire because the bike is too hot. Like this guy is just really starting to hit all the check marks of somebody I don't want to hire next year. Like somebody that's, not going to be on my team next year. Somebody that might not be worth the time and effort. There's too many young guys that are interested in a premier team and to be on a premier bike. And I got a guy that hurt himself last year on some crashes, hurt himself in some training, then starts the year off doing a wheelie and hurting himself because he doesn't know how to do a wheelie. Like, we're in practice and you're over here trying to show off your lap time in practice. So you got a wheelie and crash, mess up my bike, mess yourself up. And now we're starting the year behind. And then you pit in the first race because you're saying that the bike is too hot. Everybody's bike is too hot. It's Thailand. It's 1,000 degrees. And you're on a Ducati. It's a furnace underneath your bike. You stick it out, man. You finish the race. You're going to pit? Like you're already telling me you're not mentally strong, man.
Lewis,
you're not mentally ready.
The fans want to see the wheelie. I'm there for the wheelie, man. Come on.
It wasn't even a fan event, man. There was nobody in the stands. He's wheeling for the flag people, bro. Like,
he's committed.
They don't even have a video of it because nobody was even paying attention to his ass doing it.
Hey, anytime anyone crashes, they need to save that video and see even it happens to the pros too, man.
Yo, yeah.
Bad luck is bad luck, man. It happens.
Yeah.
Yep.
Give the seat back to Luca. Give the seat back to Luca. Lewis, what you think?
I think Luca might not be in a great position at Honda, but I guarantee you Honda's paying him a lot more than VR46 is paying him because you're on a factory team. Factory team come with factory perks.
And I haven't seen Honda this good though. I don't know what y'all talking about. Honda's never been this good according to race one.
Yeah, they did. Considering where they came from, like we talked about last week, they're doing really good. Like they're finishing in the top 12 at least.
Yeah, they're not back to 2013 standard, obviously, but they're getting there. They're getting there.
They're getting in. They'll figure it out. Let's talk about KTM. What they have to do this weekend. I mean, you got two new riders. They struggled the first round. And the factory guy. Well, they're all factory guys, but Brad and Pedro, struggled in Thailand. What do these guys got to do this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I think Brad's gonna do like he normally does, top 6. I think he's just gonna fill in there, and he's a great racer. But I think Acosta, man, the big question is how's he gonna do? Is he gonna be able to crack top 10 again? Like we haven't seen it in a while. He's just been kind of ghosting everyone's headlines right now. So really just gonna see if he can bring that juice and that juju back, that real good magic back that he had when he first joined. But I mean, I think Brad's gonna just finish top 6. As far as the other two, Vinales? No, am I getting that right?
Yeah,
Vinales and Bastianini.
Yeah. Vinales has done good there historically twice before at Coda, right? So I think I could see
he won at Coda.
He won at Coda last year, right?
Yeah.
Last year.
They're going to Argentina this weekend.
Oh, that's right. But it's kind of like they're strong at both tracks, so I could see him doing good at Argentina. So, and like Lewis was saying, I think Aprilia is decent there. But going back to KTM, this is a totally different story, right? So I don't know, man. I'm real curious to see Acosta. That's all I'll say. I'll leave it at that.
Man, Pedro Acosta, man. I hope to see him back because he had a rough last race, you know. But to see Bastianini and Brad in the mix is a good thing. KTM needs any little bit of light of success is huge for KTM. Like it's like really big, and the one rider that we want to see in there is Bastianini, because number one, he was in contention when he was on the Ducati. And we know that he has the driving force to really make noise this season, because when you go from one manufacturer to another one, it means a lot to put a second bike in on a podium. These are things that we give huge credit to riders like Valentino, Jorge, people who've won on multiple platforms have proven to be the not only stars of the MotoGP, but they become almost legends. And I think that this is gonna be a key point for him, and I think he could do it. I don't have no doubt in him. But Brad Binder is looking crazy. He's looking crazy too on the bike. Oh, we gotta see. We gotta see. I mean, they're not the ones we feel are gonna win a race, but they can win even by coming in 10th. It's a win for them.
Okay. I don't know if I'll call it a win coming in 10th, but I know what you mean. It's progress for sure. What are you thinking, Louis?
I think all things being equal, if it's a dry race, I actually think that Binder has a slight advantage, because Binder's actually ridden a GP bike in Argentina, where Acosta hasn't ridden a GP bike in Argentina. That's not to say he can't adapt quickly, but Binder already arrives with a little bit extra in ammunition by having already ridden on that track on the KTM. But all things being equal, I actually think that I think Acosta will be right there with Binder and with Bastianini. I don't think he's any less talented than those guys. I think the last race, he had a pretty decent battle with Binder, and he just kind of, outrode himself.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little bit of a overzealous, I'm not going to say rookie mistake, but he's still a young rider in GP, but he's a very talented rider. He has a lot of experience. I think those three guys will probably finish very close to one another, like maybe 8th, 9th, 10th, or 7th, between 7th and 11th place. They'll all finish kind of bunched up together, I think.
Okay, that's what's up. I'll keep it moving. Let's talk about these rookies. We saw what Agura did last weekend, or a couple of weekends ago now. And what do you think they're going to do this week? I mean, do Furman Aldeguer and Samcat, they need to really step their game up, or is it just rookie training as usual, just stick to their plan and not worry about what Agura is doing, because they're looking up and seeing what he's doing, so they got to feel some kind of way.
Yeah, I mean, Furman, he came in with some higher expectations, I think. Agura is obviously the showstopper right now, and so I don't know where Furman's going to fare. There's a lot of expectations for Furman too. But as far as Samcat, I don't really know. I mean, not high expectations from my end for him at all, because one, he's on a Honda, and two, he didn't do so great last weekend. So he's a fan favorite though, so people loved him over there. But in this track, I don't know how he's going to fare. But for the rookies, I don't think anyone's really. Maybe Furman's feeling the heat because of that, because he had some expectation with I performing so well. But I think everyone has high expectations for I. Let's see how he performs under the stress, or under that pressure, rather.
Trax Starz or Louis, whoever wants to take it first.
Yeah, Trax.
All right. I think all I'm hoping. No, I don't even want to say that, right? Because I don't really want to wish Agura any bad. Like, I want him to keep progressing, but I think it was the perfect scenario for him for that race. He's home. He just had the test right before the race. Now the race day. I think it was the perfect scenario for that race. But now I think the cards are more even. Everyone got that first race out of the way, and now we're gonna see one of these rookies outshine Agoro. Who is my money on? And that is Aldeguer for sure. Why? Because again, he's on the better bike. He's on the better bike, and I don't think Chantra is there yet, like where these two guys are. I think Aguro will fall back maybe to where Aldeguer is in 13th or somewhere further back, and Aldeguer will be somewhere in the top 10. I think you're gonna see the Ducatis really kill this track.
Got you. Aguro is from Japan, by the way. In the same area, but not home.
He was comfortable where he was. He was comfortable where he was.
He definitely might have been home for him. Louis.
For me, Chantra's main job is to just not finish in the crash truck. If he doesn't finish in the crash truck and he finishes anywhere at all, that's a win. Because again, he's on a Honda. He came to a team that is struggling, has at least that bike, if you think about the person that he took the position from, like that person had one or two good races here and there, but they understand what they ride and they understand where they're at. His main thing is to try to finish if he can, top 15. 15th place is a podium for him.
Right.
And just don't put it in the crash truck. Just do your laps, stay consistent, be positive with the situation you're in. The bike hopefully will get better. And if you work with your team and you keep that positive energy, the team will reward you.
Right. It is a win for him because they wanted Aguro for that team, but he chose to go to Aprilia. So really, some cat know, like, bro, they didn't want me first, right? So that kind of got to hit a certain way too.
It does, but again, that's maybe extra motivation to, hey, let me finish, let me do this, let me do that. We know we don't have the bike to compete. Let me do my thing. Let me give them the laps that they want. Let them, collect data from me, whatever it's going to be, whatever my role is in this company, let me be the best I can in that role. I know that they're not expecting me to get on the podium because even their factory riders aren't getting on the podium. So they're asking me to go out there. Hey, this race, we want you to go out there with this new triple tree. Go out there with the new triple tree. Do your race. Let them collect the data. And hey, I knew I was going to suck because that triple tree was horrible. But hey, I ran the race for you guys with the triple tree, with this piece, with that piece. Collect the data, and hopefully we find the right pieces to go forward. The next two between Aguro and Aldeguer, I honestly, again, Aldeguer is on the better bike. What Aguro did in that first event was amazing. I mean, you can't downplay more the fact that he was pretty much the top Aprilia rider in his first race. Yeah. On a satellite bike. And but I think as the season goes on, I think Aldeguer is going to show why he got the ride he got, why he got so many eyes on him, why they wanted to bring him into GP so fast. The kid's got an amazing talent, and I think he's going to start to shine. It's just take a little bit of time. But I think at the end of the year, between those two, if I had to put a rookie right now, I would still say it's going to be Aldeguer at the end of the season.
Oh, man. I'll say this. I disagree because he had a disappointing year. Once they announced that he got that Ducati contract, he started acting like Zion Williams. Just not like he's like
that happens to the best.
He literally should have been like Pedro Acosta because he was in the European Moto 2, and while Pedro's doing what he was doing in Moto 3, and then he gets there. He showed himself in 2023. And then in 24, once they announced it, he forced Ducati to announce it. And then when he went and announced it, like, was he? I don't know. Something happened, and he just doesn't seem as as business minded, right? He doesn't seem as committed. And it's only the first. I mean, last week Thailand was only the first round, but he needs to get what he had when he first came into Moto2 and in the European League.
The one thing he does have is in his garage is Alex Marquez, and they're both Spaniards. And believe me, if you don't think that Alex Marquez is gonna try to mentor him along with Marc Marquez, like they want to see more SPA towards the front. That's tired of seeing ITA at the end of every race in the top.
They did have words though. They did have words though.
Yeah.
So I mean, Aldeguer did kind of. He's talking a little bit of trash, a little bit of smack last season. So speaking of Alex Marquez and Morbidelli, which one of these two guys could be the spoiler for this weekend as far as standing on the top step?
I mean, I got my boy Alex Marquez on there, but Morbidelli could just as well be in there. My thing is Marquez has been getting Alex Marquez has been getting coached, and we're seeing the results of them all being on that same platform right now. So I don't know, man. It's a toss up for me. I got my money on Alex Marquez if I had to put money on it.
Okay. Your thoughts, Trax Starz?
Man, I think that we have to know, right?
And you can't say Pecco.
I think as the races continue to go, obviously the factory bikes are gonna have more and more advantages. They're just gonna pull away from these. So these early rounds for these satellite teams are super important. They're super important because it's actually as even or as close to even as they're going to be all year. So these first 3 rounds, they have to collect as many points as possible and figure things out very quickly, because those factory teams collecting data, not only from their motorcycles, but from those satellite teams as well, is what's going to give them the edge to kind of disappear and check out. Teams like VR46, teams like Grassini better get it together, or at least try to get something happening. So that even for Alex to be right now in second, we cannot expect that for much longer, because like I'm telling you, the factory team is going to start pushing him down. And I think that people like VR46, they've really been doing this at a high level for almost the past 2 seasons. That we're really being able to get riders in contention. Unfortunately, Lewis made a freaking strong, valid point in saying that Gian Antonio really got diva-ish on us in that first race, and that's completely unacceptable. If he wasn't in condition to race because he was hurt, he should have let someone else just kind of fill in for him and come in when he was good and ready. But he decided to sit on that seat, and that's not a good look. Because not only that, they didn't collect any data from his bike according to that for that race, and that's key. So I don't know. This is when I feel like Aldeguer will be somewhere more towards the front, right? Because what they were able to collect for him. So we're gonna see. I think it's any rookie's chance and any Ducati that's non-factories chance to get to the front as well, because they only have another round left.
Okay.
I think this is a double-edged sword weekend for Morbidelli for a few reasons. One, is South America, so obviously he's got deep Brazilian roots, and they're expecting, this is as close as he gets to being a hometown favorite. I know he lives in Italy and everything, so when he goes to the Italian rounds, it's the same. But as far as like his Brazilian roots, this is hometown territory. So he might, that I always say, like, when you're in your backyard, you always find a tent.
Lewis, what are you trying to say? The Brazilians are claiming him more than the Italians are claiming him?
No, they both claim him. But, if you look at he's very, very, he likes to be claimed by both. But this is, again, a little bit of a home track for him. So he might have a little bit more incentive to do a little bit better.
Yeah.
But then that could also mean that he's going to end up crashing into somebody, getting a 10 praise grid penalty, pinballing 7 people off the track. You never know with this guy. He's a little bit of a basket case.
Wasn't always like that, though, right?
It wasn't always like that. But as soon as he started realizing he might not get a job, it started becoming like that. You start pushing a little extra when you're on a 1-year contract, when you might not have a job next year.
The Vinales factor.
Now, Vinales is even worse of a head case, but still, it's bad. I think if you ask me between Marquez and Morbidelli, Alex Marquez and Morbidelli, who's going to be in front, I still think Marquez has that edge because what he did this past weekend, he's already showed a lot of brilliance. We know that he's the number 1 rider on the team. He's getting all the attention on the team. He's getting all the support on the team. And, I'm sure his brother is helping him along as well. I mean, he's a talented rider, but it's not bad having your brother be like one of the greatest riders of all time.
Right.
There's nobody going over to Morbidelli and putting an arm around him and be like, hey, this corner here, when I was following you, you're doing this, you're doing that. You should try to do it,
And he's not the number 1 rider on the team. He got the older bike.
Yeah, he got 2. Yeah, Dejan and Tonio flipping the wheelie got the number 1 bike.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to this weekend, guys. If there's a question or something I didn't bring up, if anyone want to bring anything up before we get out of here.
Want to say anything about Pirelli being the official tire in GP for 27?
I meant to bring that up. Yes. I'm a Pirelli guy, so I'm happy.
Same here. How do you guys think that'll affect the racing? Because now you're looking at a new motor and a new bike and a new tire at the same time.
Dude, I'm excited because the Pirelli is one of the best compounds there is. It's the best compound, man. They're the only ones that do quality control. You've seen Dunlops fail over and over again. You've seen Michelin's have their issues. You've seen Bridgestone. I don't know. They're good too. They're all good. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, Dunlop has had their issues with Moto America, but I'm super excited to see Pirelli there because it's just increasing the brand value.
Right.
It's going to transfer over from World Super, whatever knowledge they've been using. They're going to try to use it, but these bikes are monsters. These bikes are totally different, way more laps in some sense, a few more laps in some ways. But yeah, I'm just excited to see Pirelli. Who isn't?
Man, I'm the biggest Pirelli fan in the world, man. Like I freaking love Pirelli, and I think that's the perfect time to introduce them because for real, we're going on a straight up even platform. Everyone got to start fresh with new motors because supposedly we're going to the 900 cc's or whatever it is, the 800 plus. We'll have introduction, hopefully, of new motorcycle brands back in BMW. Hopefully, maybe Suzuki comes back. I'm praying, and we keep KTM. So it gives everybody a shot, and now to learn new data on a new tire, it's going to be, there's no better time for MotoGP to do this and accept a new entry, really completely refresh the MotoGP brand. Because even the logo, man, every time I go on the website and I see the logo, I'm like, yo, am I on the right place? But man, it's only gonna keep getting better, man. Stay tuned, keep watching. That's a great question, Louis, and a great highlight right there to remind us that Pirelli's coming to MotoGP.
I will say, I don't know. Well, you guys can tell me because I don't know if they've been a tire supplier before for MotoGP or is this their first time?
Years ago, when they didn't have a single manufacturer, different teams had Michelin, some teams had Pirelli. Like there was different options that you could use. And then when they moved over to the single tire manufacturer, the spec tire, the first spec tire was, I believe it's Bridgestone was the very first spec tire, and they were the spec tire for many, many years.
Right.
But before that, you could do Bridgestone, you could do Michelin, you could do whatever. But Pirelli's been like the perennial World Superbike tire for a long, long time. So
I will say
I got a question. I got a question.
Hang on 1 second.
Yeah.
I will say this. I think Pirelli will have a better shot in 2027 than Michelin did come in. I forget when they come in, like 18 or 19, because they or 17, somewhere around there. 17, because they struggled with the wing and the aerodynamic.
Right.
Michelin's had a bad time for a little bit with tire compound and just all that crap. So for Pirelli coming in on a new bike, a new engine with the tire, at least they don't have to deal with, the 1000cc bike and stuff like that. So I hope they'll have a better time than Michelin did in the beginning. But as we see where Michelin is right now with the tires they're bringing to MotoGP is pretty impressive. So I got to assume for Pirelli, 3-4 years. I don't know how long the contract is, but after this, they're going to be on a different level, I got to assume.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, yeah. I wanted to ask y'all, do you think that with the tire combination, with the tires being changed and the new motors being changed, the rules changing, along with the new manufacturers coming in, new riders coming in, is that the great reset, or is Ducati going to keep dominating? I think that's a question for everyone.
I will say
know what Trax is going to say.
Yeah, I'll say Ducati's going to keep dominating because I think they have a pretty good handle on building fast bikes and really good bikes. And so I think and especially we see what they're doing in World Superbike, we see what they're doing in street bikes and stuff like that. I think they're going to be fine.
Louis, what about you, man?
I mean, I think Ducati's still going to have a little bit of a head up on everybody, but I also do see it as a reset.
Yeah.
I don't know if BMW is going to go to the class. KTM might not still be there, but I think Yamaha and Honda will definitely benefit from going to a different motor, starting a little bit more from scratch. The changes in the aerodynamics and some of the other rules, like all riders have to share GPS data. I think the big thing is, will there still need to be a tire pressure rule when Pirelli comes in? Because the tire pressure rule for me is the worst rule that we have. I understand why it's there, but if that tire rule is there only because the Michelin tire is what the Michelin tire is, if that rule can go away, that'll be great. Because we've seen, in Moto 2 and Moto 3, since Pirelli came in and took over for Dunlop, they've just been breaking lap records left and right, constantly, by not a little bit. Like I'm talking like sometimes 2.5 second lap records getting broken from one year to another. Wow. Usually you break a lap record by 0.8, 0.6, but 1.5 seconds, or to have the entire field going a second faster. Like usually it's just the top few guys that go a second faster, not the entire field. So I look forward to it, man. I'm a big Pirelli fan. I was actually with the guys from Pirelli, Italy, in Daytona. And they were, this was a big talking point for them, is, not just doing Moto 2 and Moto 3, but actually now doing MotoGP. And what does it mean to them as a global brand? Like, they've always been the premier brand. This is why they come on like this, premier bikes. All the Ducatis come with Pirellis, and a lot of the top of the line bikes come with Pirellis. I think it's just going to, better expose the world to the fact that they are really the premier tire manufacturer when it comes to sport riding, sport touring. And even now, V-Twin, I think they just released a V-Twin tire. So they're growing, man. When other people are circling the wagons and maybe not being as aggressive to grow, like, they're growing.
Yeah. That's interesting. That would be a wild scene to see, a day where we see Pirelli come in the game in 2027, slower bikes in some sense, and all of a sudden they're going faster than ever. Wow. I mean, that would just tell you that they didn't need none of that stuff, right? I'd be curious to see what happens there. But what you think, Trax, Mr. Pirelli?
Like Louis, I took that point away from me because that's what I wanted to say. Ducati does come with Pirellis on already, So, hey, I gotta go with the Ducati. We work great with Pirelli. And just to, continue to point out the known facts, if they go to the platform where the engine is obviously smaller. The other big point that we didn't bring up is that also the certain electronic benefits are gonna go away too, and I don't know if they're also trying to push the aerodynamics.
Some of that gonna go away too.
Some of it's going away.
So it's gonna be. We're going back to the basics, basically, in MotoGP. They're gonna
2008, 2009.
Yeah, we're gonna see those elbows out, and it's good. They want you. If you're the rider, you're gonna beat me because you're the rider, not because you got the best bike. And I still feel that Ducati will prevail.
Yeah, I think it's more of a reset for for the brands that are struggling.
Yeah, for sure.
The ones that are not struggling, they just gotta just adapt and evolve.
Yeah, I do have a second question to that, because in 2027 we're gonna have 850cc GP bikes, and we're gonna have 765cc Moto 2 bikes.
Yeah,
is that a big enough gap to make the GP class the premier class? Because you got less than 100cc difference.
Well, the 765s are they triples?
Yeah, they're triples.
Engines.
Yeah, I could see a difference. Yeah,
I think the big difference too. Wasn't it also that there's no electronics on the Moto 2 bikes?
Well, no, Moto 2 bikes have electronics. They have traction control. They have wheelie control. They don't have. They have launch control, but they don't have like ride height devices or whole shot devices or any of that stuff. But in 2027, all the GP bikes lose that as well. Like, there's no more whole shots devices. There's no more ride height devices. Like, you can't come and squat your bike 17 inches at the starting line so that your lower fairing is dragging anymore. Like, you got to launch from your normal launching position.
Got you.
And the aerodynamics are still going to be there, but they're reducing them. The size of them, how many they can put on the bike. So again, you're getting two bikes that are now getting a little bit closer to one another.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
it'll probably be better for the development. Yeah. The development of riders and introducing them to the premier class.
But even looking at World Superbike versus MotoGP, not even to mention Moto 2. But I think I heard something, and maybe Louis, you might have mentioned this a while back, that they were testing that in BSB to make the thousands slower. So BSB and World Superbike bikes are not faster than MotoGP bikes. So I think when it's all said and done in 27, those other classes are not going to be faster than a GP bike. I guess we'll leave it there, guys.
Well, that's a Lewis. That was Lewis, right? My bad.
No. That was for you, man. If you had anything more to say,
you got something to say. Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were talking to Lewis because no,
I was just pointing that out.
I was gonna say. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be interesting because is this gonna make the bikes faster in the laps? That's ultimately what I'm curious about, and I think it's not that big a deal with Moto 2, even if they're close. I don't think anyone's sitting there comparing the lap times. Lap for lap, maybe it's going to get a little closer if they don't do anything to the Moto 2 bikes. But I think it's going to lead to more exciting racing. It's going to take away that. I think there's something to the high speed ability to like battle when they have more aerodynamics. You can't do that much battling, I've heard. Like, I think you can battle more in the high speeds when you don't have all those wings and all that. That's one thing. Especially when coming out of a draft, it's a big change and all that with those wings is what some of those riders talked about, if I recall correctly. So I'm really excited just to see all that kind of trimmed down. Right. And it's almost like a big bodybuilder trimming down to become a real lean athlete now. He's going to be performing better, even in some areas, even though he's not going to have that top speed, like we're thinking the bikes are going to lose.
Right.
Yeah. Right now we got approximately 100 horsepower difference between a Moto 2 bike and a MotoGP bike. But we also have 100 or 235 cc difference between the two bikes. So now you bring that down to under 100 cc's. I don't see how you're going to still make or produce 260 horsepower out of an 850 cc motor, because there's no replacement displacement. Like,
I disagree.
With less fuel, you have to carry 2 liters of less fuel.
And it's renewable energy is energy, right? It's not like regular gas anymore, right? They're not
I don't know if they're going to use the blue fuel or not, but they're going to definitely use some specific fuel. But 2 liters less. Bike's going to be about, I think it's 14 pounds less overall weight is the new minimum or weight.
But don't you think that, I think they could put more horsepower down with these bikes. I think they can with the current bikes. Can't they go faster? They actually have to limit the horsepower because the tires can't handle it. So if they went down to 865 or whatever, or 8 whatever that was, I think they'll still be able to push a lot of horsepower.
Well, when MotoGP used to run the 800cc motors, what happened with those is that they started, the riders tried to get more out of the bikes through the corner speed. And that's why during the 800cc era, what we called the high side area, because that was the era where more people getting launched to the moon than ever before, because they're trying to squeeze all the power they can out of an 800cc bike. And the only place to get up the extra speed was through the corners. And, Jorge Lorenzo will tell you that he saw his house many, many times from his bike when he was flying through the air.
Well, I mean, I just pulled up an article that says they're expecting 270.
Out of a 850cc motor?
Yeah, compared to the 280 to 300 they got now.
Wow.
Yeah, tech's different.
Yeah, look, that's what I was talking about. So they're also seeing the tighter. I mean, we've talked about this before, read it all, but they're the ban on ride height devices and the aerodynamics restrictions is going to aim to minimize that dirty air they're talking about, promoting a more competitive racing that we all enjoy. Yeah. So I don't care about the top speed. I don't care about the lap times. If we can see them battle it out to the finish line, I mean, that's what we want to see.
Yeah, no doubt. Right. Speaking of the finish line, guys, I want to thank everyone for coming on. Tell folks how they can find you and connect with you on social or in person.
Yeah, it's Cheetah 740 on the YouTube and Instagram. There's a lot of tutorials on there about like just track walkthroughs and stuff on my YouTube, so you can go check them out.
My name is Trax Starz. You could reach me on Instagram at TRX_STARZ, and also on YouTube. I've been slacking on the YouTube, but if you need anything from Dainese AGV helmets, make sure to go to your nearest Dainese store or my home store, Ducati, New York. Pull up. I will be there to help you with anything, and you get some little bit of love, you know what I'm saying, on that bill. If you need anything like far as Ducati, if you want a Ducati, because everyone should be on a Ducati, it's happening in MotoGP, World Superbike. Come get the best bike possible. Win a race, win the streets, win that girl that you want to.
God, I'm so glad his microphone died. Thank God.
Oh my God. And you already know, reach out to HSBK because we win Daytona, we win everything. Mention Trax Starz there and get some love on any motorcycle parts. If you ride a Gixxer like Lewis, or that Yamaha or that ZX, you can get some parts for those too. They need them. Get some power.
Hey, you only need parts when you crash.
I don't want to go fast.
For me, it's Real Louis Ortega Instagram. You can reach out to me there. If you have any questions for me, you can send them to Trax Starz. You can tell him that Louis was right again. He's more than happy to respond to you all the time. He loves those questions, those DMs about how Louis was always right. If you buy Ducati, keep it on Pirelli's. You put Michelin, you shouldn't have bought the Ducati because you can't afford it.
Damn.
That's a Trax Starz.
Hey, man. Peace out.
Peace.